All right, everybody, we are back. Now we want to install the database portion. I said earlier that the listener for our ASM instance will suffice for the database for this exercise. So the listener is active. All we need to do is go ahead and run DBCA, Database Configuration Assistant. All right, it is coming up, taking a minute. All right, our database configuration assistant is up. Click on next, create a database. Please pay attention to this because we are not going to just use a file system like we have been doing. This is a general purpose database. Our database, we are going to call it DB01. Next, we are going to configure Enterprise Manager to run. Next, we are going to give it class password. Now here's where the difference is. All the installations you have done, the storage type has been file system. But now we are going to use automatic storage management, ASM. So we select the ASM and so the database files will be on ASM. So we're going to browse for where the data files will be. And since we have ASM instance already running and the disk groups are available, we will be presented with this option to select which of these disk group will host our database. So we'll select data. So our database will be in plus data. We can say that other Oracle managed files okay, let's just stick to that first one there. So our database will be there. It wants us to provide the password for the ASM administrator, the ASM SNMP, which is the monitoring account in ASM. I hope I remember the password. I'll keep it simple. I think this was also class password, if I am not. I think I have forgotten that password. I need to provide that password. Now our FRA will be on ASM. So we are browsing, our FRA will be on record. Say OK. Next. Now, if you want to enable archiving, you can do so here so that the database will be in archive log mode. By the way, I want to increase the size of my FRA so that it will allow me to have multiple backups. We do not have enough free space. Oh, okay. I'll go back and reduce that. Remember, we just assigned 6 gig. I want to install the sample database. Alright, we can begin to size and change our character set here. We can begin to size and change our character set here, but I don't want you to do that. Keep everything simple. Next. And this is the summary of what it's going to do. It's going to create the database. Finish. Say OK, and the database is being created, and the data files are going to be on ASM. Our FRA is going to also be on ASM. We'll give it a minute. We are 2%. Alright, we are at 86%. DBCA is doing its thing. Alright, our database is installed, and as you can see, our parameter file is on plus data /dbo1 sp file seed.aura, and everything else will function as we know it. This is the URL for Enterprise Manager, and I am just going to click and exit. And so now let's log into our database, SQL Plus /as CSDBA. So we have just logged into our database. Select star from HR.department. There we go. So our database is up and running. And if we show parameter, and you will, if you step through, you will find out that a whole lot of things are now on ASM. Let's look at our control file. So our control file is on ASM plus data. Control file is on ASM. Let's take a look at our SP file. Our SP file is on ASM. Show parameter db_recovery, and that our recovery file destination is on ASM, and this is the size of our FRA. Alright, so we have successfully installed this Oracle database on ASM file storage system. Let's take a look at the ASM instance Let's be sure that we are running the environment variable for ASM. SQL plus /as sys ASM. So we can select instance name, database name, and the status of it from $ASM client. There we go. So we now have that database DB01 installed on ASM. All right. I think we have successfully configured an ASM instance, and we labeled the disk and created these groups, and we then installed Oracle software, that's instance, and then we installed the database portion on ASM. All right, thank you very much for listening, and the next video we are going to be doing is cloning a database into a new server. We actually have a database running in California. We are going to clone it. Along the line also, we will be configuring Oracle Active Data Guard. Active Data Guard, a physical data guard, a logical data standby database, and a snapshot standby database as part of your lab. We will be doing that, and we also will be installing grid control. The particular version we will be installing is Enterprise Manager 12C Cloud Control, which is the latest grid control. We will use it to configure Data Guard Broker for our standby databases. Looking ahead, we will also be installing a 2-node rack in a Unix environment. We look forward to that session. Thank you everyone for listening. Once again, my name is Billy Effick. This training is provided by Pishon Technologies. That's Pishon is PISHON technologies.com, and you can go online and take a look at our website. As a matter of fact, let's look at our website. We are Oracle consultants, and we do a lot of training, hands-on training. We have different tracks. We also mentor our participants. We have the DBA track. What we are doing here is way beyond the regular DBA training. Most companies will do introduction to SQL, admin 1 and admin 2, but we have taken it further. We're doing Unix. We're doing all kinds of labs, including ASM, grid control, data guard, rack, and we will even teach you how to install a Unix server and a Windows 2008 server and configure Oracle on both platforms. And we are trying to produce a well-rounded database administrator in a short time. This is the DBA track. This is the developers track. We have developers track, PL SQL developer, Oracle developer. We also have Microsoft track. We have the Microsoft training, Microsoft Business Intelligence, Microsoft SQL Server administration and Windows administration. All right. Thank you once again for listening and learning. Thank you. I appreciate everyone. Bye-bye.